Welcome back, everyone, to Escaping Carcosa Offline. I'm Michaela. I'll be the keeper for our Call of Cthulhu 70 setting. I use she, her pronouns. And we'll go ahead and go around and introduce everyone. And we'll start with Tenzin.
Hi everyone, my name is Tenzin. My Twitter handle is Tenzin Days. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Mauve, 30-year-old art gallery curator who's a bit snobbish, but sometimes has good intentions. And their pronouns are also they and them.
All right, and Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. You can find me on Twitter at JackTrue. That's at JAK_true, all lowercase. And I'll be playing the character of Guy Jury, who is a paranormal / occult investigator, or at least that's what he calls himself. And we both have he/him pronouns.
Great. And Fatuma.
Hi, my name's Fatuma. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And in this campaign, I am playing Noor, who also uses she, her pronouns. She's young, she's a streamer, and she's definitely nosier than she needs to be most times, but it gets her in some interesting situations, which are always fun to think about. And you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Fatuma, so FATUMAAAA_. There are 4 A's.
And Drea.
Hey, I'm Drea Silvertooth, they, them, and I can be found at Drea Silvertooth on Twitter. I'm playing Fable, she, they, the parkour practicing hacker who is here to save her girl.
So, Guy, what drives you to pursue your findings, even when everyone around you doesn't believe them as intently?
I think, most of all, curiosity and just trying to understand and make sure that if bad things are going to happen, they happen to me. And maybe I can stop them from happening to anyone else. I know there's no way for me to get back to my normal life. And for some reason, wake up every day. This is what I want to do.
Okay, Guy, pulling on heartstrings over here. All right, and Noor, do you still develop tech in your free time, or have you kind of left that behind?
Well, I definitely still work on my glasses all the time just because they're on my face. I want them to be as high-tech as I possibly can. But I'll definitely still every once in a while do some tinkering, like pick up a project. I definitely have talked about a bunch of different creations that I don't want to make on stream whenever we're just catching up. Everyone's I'll be I had this really cool idea. But normally it's really small things toys for my friends, if my friends have cats, I'll make them a little toy to kind of keep them occupied when they're in meetings and stuff. But for the most part, it's mostly just my glasses, which are definitely the most high-tech thing that I have made and use really constantly. But I haven't worked on anything bigger than that recently, but I definitely do want to get back into it. Maybe I'll do a stream about it where I am let's make this cool thing and we design it together. So yeah.
Very cool. And Fable, what were you doing before you got into pen testing?
I was in school, well, for pen testing eventually, but originally I was studying anthropology. It doesn't really relate to anything. I just thought it was cool. I loved playing old video games that were kind of like the old Lara Croft style video games. It made it sound really, really adventurous to go find old ruins. Of course, the truth is it's mostly piecing together the 500 shards that make up one single pot. But that's what I was into before.
As an anthropology grad, it's yes. All right, great. And Mauve, you have a good bit of experience with the occult. What is it that got you interested in the occult to begin with?
Well, let me tell you, because I have an answer for that. So ever since Mauve was little, they had a favorite great aunt, and every Halloween the great aunt would visit to give treats and take Mauve out for trick-or-treating. And it wasn't really so much Halloween that made Mauve love the dark and the occult. It was actually Mauve's belief that the great aunt was secretly a witch. And they always denied it, but also But the denial was very suspicious. It was always in a very like, there's no way I don't have a hat that's pointy. It was always very comical denials that just didn't sit right with Mauve. And there were times when Mauve swears that one time they saw their great aunt floating above above the floor by like a few inches. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it was just very late that night and still, little Mauve was maybe a little fuzzy from sleeping and all that candy. But yeah, only during Halloween would that great aunt visit, and now, after a while, we're not sure. Obviously, after a few number of Halloweens, they no longer came. But Mauve fondly thinks of their great aunt every Halloween night.
Great. Those are lovely. So during our last episode of Carcosa Offline, the investigators were put through some difficult decisions. Guy gave his friends the runaround after heading back to the indie game room as opposed to the room he initially told them he would be headed towards. Entering hands up, he prompted Victoria, the director of PR at Nostradamus, for a discussion, in which he asked to be hired in attempts to offer aid and ultimately ended up blackmailing her when she did not acquiesce to this request. Noor and Fable, listening from another room, and having seen enough unsettling experiences for the day, including a white masked figure and flowing robes, quite similar to the individual in the background of Smiley's stream, quickly made their way back to the center of this floor, where Guy came out surprisingly unscathed and where Mauve had wandered back as well. In the event they were being followed, they did a bit of a bar crawl to decompress and wait out, heading directly to Gael's. On the news, they witnessed Victoria informing media that while Carcosa Online was indeed a bit more immersive than they had anticipated, they assured that individuals in the game would receive adequate care while the situation was sorted out. And they finished their fill of comfort food and ale before heading to Gael's. We returned to our investigators after a night out, a few bars visited. So they are headed on their way to Gael's to check in on Ryan and figure out exactly where to go from here after hearing the news and confirming that people are indeed getting trapped inside of and dying inside of Carcosa Online.
If I recall correctly, Guy had a lot to drink when we were doing our bar crawl. So
Yes.
How stable is Guy's walking? I'm so curious.
He's, I think, surprisingly stable considering how much he drank, but he is much drunker than he's letting on. It's a thing that my uncle used to be able to do really well, which was, as long as he was concentrating very hard and not do anything practical, he could seem sober for a long time, and then he would just pass out.
Would you say that Guy is looking pretty sluggish?
Oh my
Murder.
god.
Oh my God.
He's looking pretty sluggish. He's probably talking about Atlantis again.
I gotta go.
Bye.
You see, they said it was in the initial translation, which is why I'm here in the first place. It was supposed to be on the east coast of the New World, but it's not on the east coast of the New World. It's east, off the coast of the New World. So really, it's off the coast of the west of the United States of America.
It's
And
Atlantis.
that's why I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, it's Atlantis again, but it's. You also haven't found it because you don't have a boat or like scuba gear or anyone who believes you when you say these things.
Or a map?
Yeah,
Like I said, I've rented a boat.
yeah. He has a map. He definitely has a map. It's one of those maps that's on the wall that has a bunch of pins in it and red string. He's got a map. It doesn't.
It's a different kind of map. Okay.
It's not the kind of map you give a navigator. It's more the kind of map you give an FBI agent when they're hunting someone down.
It's a really good descriptor.
That was a good descriptor.
Someone being a lost underwater city, yes.
No, someone you. They're probably hunting you down with your weird.
Oh.
But yeah. Anyway,
Who?
don't worry.
Name? That's all I need is a name.
Mauve is a little definitely tipsy and goes, well, if I were a kind of map, I would be a... Ooh, okay, wait. Where are we going again?
You have to say what coordinate system you'd be. Like longitude, latitude, day plane.
All right, I was telling... If I was a map, I would be a virtual map of,
that's not a coordinate
of the
system.
human soul. And
Okay, Mauve.
And it would have beautiful specks of ultraviolet light shooting out and just imbuing people with good feelings.
Fable, how far out are we from your friend's apartment? Just a question.
We are here. So, and Fable turns around to face everybody and points at Guy. You are a punk, and you have a secret evil lover or something. Points at Noor. And you, I guess, worked for Nostradamus. And you, and points at Mauve. I guess you stabbed a man with a boom mic today, so we're not really batting 100 with the trust. But you're also the only people who believe I saw a frickin' ghost in the guitar room today, so I guess welcome to my best friend's house.
And to me, it sounds like you're the odd one out, if anyone.
And I would like to point out that I worked in the past for them. I don't currently do this anymore.
Yeah, and I could call mine self-defense, so, you know, I already took my moment to live with that.
Well, Gael is my best friend, is a complete cupcake, and if anyone hurts him, you will have to answer to me. Let's go.
Do you knock on the door? Do you just like walk in? Do you ring the bell?
Definitely just walk in. Yeah, I think there's a key under. I think there's like a garden gnome in front of an apartment door, which looks as ludicrous as it sounds. And I think she like shakes the garden gnome and a key falls out, and she opens up the door.
I think that's just phenomenal, knowing that Gael is also a pen tester who like runs the company,
Yeah.
right? Like it's his company.
Yes.
And he leaves the key out like
In a garden gnome with a hole in it, yeah.
Beautiful.
And if you ask
Yeah.
why, he's like, well, there's nothing to take. What would you take from my house?
Fair enough.
It's a really good point.
Fair enough. So you all first, Fable of course enters initially, and Gael is sitting there, essentially person sitting, cat sitting, all of the above, and has stayed with Ryan the whole time since you had a phone call with him, and is playing with Alistair with a little cat toy in the living room that's right by the front door. Goes, oh, hey Fable, and friends?
Friends with a question mark is super accurate. Meet Noor, meet Guy, meet Mauve. Don't trust any of them, but they do have to sleep.
Hi, meet Mauve, meet Guy, meet Noor.
How's my girl? How's my cat?
Your cat, playing, doing better. Was a little scared at first. It's a new space. And, as far as Ryan goes, well, still doing the deep sleep over here.
Does Gael have her hooked up to like a TV screen? Like, can we see what she's doing in the game?
Yeah, so I think that Gael would have brought, like a spare monitor out and hooked the system up to that, so that way the TV in the living room was still usable. So they could he could watch like YouTube videos or something to help pass the time.
Uh-huh.
So the system is now hooked up. It is plugged into the main outlet, the gaming console. The VR headset is still on Ryan. And then the game is being shown on this monitor instead.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Fable takes a minute to watch Ryan's character running around through Carcosa Online, just appreciating that character is still moving and doing things.
Yep. And right now everything, I guess, looks as okay as it can, right? Your girlfriend is trapped inside of a game, so not everything is peachy, but character is definitely still moving along with some other pals that it seems like she's made fast friends with.
Nora's playing with Alistair? Alistair? Nora's playing with Alistair, kind of trying to get Alistair to like come to her, be like, hi, like just like very quietly in a corner, like trying to play with the cat. But also like definitely thinking about everything. So it's probably a lot quieter than you would expect her to be.
Well, Mauve, knowing Guy for quite a long time by now, notices that he's definitely at a certain level of drunkenness that, and goes to where they assume is the kitchen and looks for 2 glasses of water, 2 glasses to fill in with water, and comes back to hand one to him and says, "Drink."
And he drinks it in one, and then takes off his jacket and sort of stuffs it along the bottom of the door, the front door, over the gap. And they just say, "You'll thank me in the morning for your carpets. They won't have all silvery stuff on them. It's the whole thing. Where's your toilet? That's where I will be."
Oh, like the whole night?
Maybe.
And Gael sheepishly points like down the hall, and there's a room off to the left that is the bathroom.
Guy probably falls asleep in the doorway to the toilet as soon as everyone's out of sight. We'll just see Guy's feet sticking out of the
my God.
bathroom, and that's where he'll spend the night.
Do we hear you fall? Like, did we just like boom, boom?
Good thud.
I think he might just like lean against the door frame, and then
And
that's quite comfortable. So he'll like slide down the door frame until he's laying down.
I think Alistair goes to investigate. Just kind of make sure you're okay.
No, Alistair. Okay, Alistair.
Roll investigation.
It was just sad that Alistair left her. Also, what time is it right now, I guess, in the game?
Yeah, it's pretty late, so it's nearing about probably 11 at night or so. Y'all
Okay.
stayed out for a little bit at the bars to make sure no one was following you. You didn't want to bring anything or anyone with you.
Noor pulls out, or just uses her glasses to order Gibbs some food and schedules it to be delivered at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Aww.
She was like, "I'm gonna get you some food because you haven't eaten." She's like, "Let me just do that real quick before something else happens."
Definitely.
I think Noor goes up to Fable. Is that, like, pointing at the monitor, is that your partner in the game?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like the type of character you'd make. Redheaded, magical, that kind of thing. Pretty sure. Yeah.
What does, how are they doing in the game? Like, are they actively fighting? I'm assuming they're not actively fighting for their lives because Fable is, like, calm right now, but I guess what's happening in the game from what we can see?
Yeah, right now it looks like they are just kind of meandering around the town. It looks like things have settled down. You had that initial seeing you saw when they were fighting the skeletons. I believe Fable and Mauve saw that. But right now things are fairly calm. Seems like they're on some, if you can call it that, downtime.
Okay.
And I'm guessing. Wait, did it in the recap part? Did we all share what we saw in the respective rooms already?
I think a few folks talked about it initially, but I think the betrayal from Guy.
Never forgetting that, by the way.
It was for it was necessary betrayal.
We also I don't think we know what Mauve did at all.
Right.
You went into a break room, then you came out looking tired.
Mm-hmm. And then I think Fable
Saw a freaking ghost.
Yeah, briefly mentioned what they saw, which was just a ghost.
Yeah.
There wasn't much detail behind.
I think. Yeah, Noor almost ran into a person, and then Guy scared her by calling her, and then maybe didn't run into a person.
To record the aforementioned blackmail.
Yeah.
And I think Fable turns towards Mauve and Noor because they're still awake. So, that figure that Guy and I saw in that stream? You know that streamer, right, Noor?
Yeah, yes.
Smiley.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the figure that was like poking out of the closet that I was like, haha, it's probably their aunt or something. No, it's definitely a fucking ghost, and I definitely saw them surrounded by famous guitars in the Mopop Museum. And they absolutely just fucking drifted through ethereally with no physical body or footsteps or anything. I mean, they were around one side of a piece of fuzzy glass looking really sketch, and then the other side they were gone.
Yeah, that is very strange. But I don't know if we can really call it a ghost. It seems too... I actually saw something as well. The robe, the mask, similar to the description you shared before about what was on the stream.
Yellow robe, white mask?
Yes. I mean, I almost barely registered it, but then I remembered your description. So what could it mean?
There was just like a spectral cultist hanging out in the break room with you?
No, there was a display of all these iconic characters in the occult classics film and fiction.
Because remember, it was fantasy room made break room.
Yes, fantasy
So
room.
the figures were still there.
Yes, so there were different, slides of those characters, and when it came to the robed being, it seemed like they were making eye contact with me, like they were looking right into my soul, and then they just vanished. And the next image came up, and it was just another, iconic fantasy character.
You have a much deeper interpretation of this than I do, because yours is that it was looking into your soul, and mine was that it scared my panties off and I ran away. But I think probably same creature, same vibe. What do we fucking do?
Well, the first thing, when it comes to spirits or monsters or any of those things, the first thing to do is find out, research what it could be. And then once we know, find out its weakness, and then get rid of it, basically.
This is some Buffy the Vampire Slayer shit, and I'm here for it. Can you do that? Do you know how to do that? Like, research these things?
I do have a, deep knowledge of all things occult, I guess you can say. I can definitely look into that and look into my resources.
If you help at all, like besides the stabbing with the boom mic, that was helpful, but I mean additional help, don't worry about what you owe me. It's not important.
Well, I'm not going to pretend to be a better person here, so deal.
And I
Oh
think
my
Gael jumps in and is like, your friend with the, yeah, are y'all like crashing here tonight? I think he already has. I've got snacks and blankets. I don't have many other accommodations outside of that, but if you all need a safe place for the evening, you're welcome.
That is very gracious of you, and I happily accept. I'll take whatever you have.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I think Noor starts helping Gael like get things. Also get Guy. Noor's like tiny bodies, like because her shoes are off now, so she's 3 inches shorter than she normally is just trying to like drag Guy out of the bathroom.
Maybe we should just leave him in the tub. I mean, that is quite a comfy bed itself. And that's where the slugs can collect as well.
I can pad the bathtub with blankets if you'd like, but
I don't even think you need to worry about it for Guy. I feel like he could fall asleep on wet cement and would still sleep.
Cement floor. I've seen it happen a few times.
You should close the toilet, though, and put a plug over the bathroom drain, or you're going to have a whole other problem in the morning. Nails and slugs and stuff. Don't ask why. I don't know. I have no idea.
oh, okay. Gael scratches his head. It's like, oh, all right.
Thanks. By the way, I know this is a lot to show up with 3 strangers, 2 of who are drunk, and also my partner basically in a coma.
It's okay. What are you gonna do about that? By the way, I know you mentioned your mom being able to maybe help out, or I don't know if you want to take her to a hospital. I saw the reports. Nostradamus is apparently working on something too.
Well, I was gonna talk to Guy about it, but so I guess I'll talk to you. Yeah, I mean, they said on the news they were gonna take care of the people who were stuck in the immersiveness of the game, but we saw the people in charge of this, and they had unplugged people who were playing the game, and Gael, they were dead. Like, completely fucking dead. And,
Like dead?
like, dead-ass
Like-
dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so upsetting. It's if you don't laugh, you'll scream. So,
Ah.
yeah, exactly. Fuck.
It, like
Um,
trails off. It's like, yeah.
But they're not reporting that the people, like, they're just saying, oh, it's like super immersive. People are fucking stuck in this game, and if you take off their headset, they die. And I think if they die in the game, they die. I'm worried that if Ryan gets taken to a hospital and they fuck around, she'll find out, and then she'll just disappear.
Okay. Well,
What do you think I should do?
at the very least, nourishment and hydration are going to be needed at some point. So, see what your mom can do, I guess. And in the meantime, I think you all are going to need your rest. I think you all have your hands full with more than you could have ever anticipated, it sounds like.
Question. Next day, is it a weekday? Because, Mauve's gallery and all that. Do I need to call in sick,
Do I need to call
I
him
think
drunk?
Mauve missed their show,
I know,
right?
your show.
Hey, at least I still have a, like a steady job, but I can't sit out for that many days.
I think it will be a weekday, so if you want to take a stroll to the gallery at some point tomorrow, or, reach out to your admin.
A sudden extended absence.
Right. That is totally up to you. And then I'm sure you still have freedom to go in and out since you are, you kind of run that whole shindig there.
Exactly, yeah.
So even if you're off, maybe, if you need to head over to the museum for any reason or talk to the admin, then you are welcome to do so. But it depends on how you want to.
Oh my god, I'm gonna come up with such a preposterous reason. Like,
I can't wait.
You have normal reasons? I feel like all of Mauve's reasons are just preposterous. The vibes I get, honestly.
good call, yeah. It won't be, basically, they won't be surprised by the bullshit I come up with.
True.
The sound planks.
I know. I'm like, God, when I get my own place, I'm gonna get I'm like, oh God, I need to soundproof things.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get the darkest, blackout, curtains, it's gonna be sick.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fable's gonna go call their mom.
Okay. And I think while you head into the room to go call your mom, Gael comes out with enough blankets to completely cover
Oh, let me help you with those. And Noor tries to grab the ones on top and just fails miserably, and they kind of all fall on her
they
head.
all topple
She
over.
catches them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all just topple over. But she picks them up and is like, "Thank you."
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what blankets are for. It's fine. They're soft. They're fluffy. If they fall over a little bit, it's not going to hurt anyone. Take as many as you need, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
And I think passes it around as well to Mauve, and then leaves one or two by where Guy is sitting in the door frame.
I dragged him up to a sitting position, so he's not just on the
slumped over
bathroom floor.
Yeah.
His head just lolls onto his chest.
While Fable is taking the calling her mom, can I look at the headset and see if I recognize any of the tech in it? Or can I try to, because I worked on it, so I want to see what does this look like compared to when I worked on it? Do I recognize anything?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and give me an electronics or computer use.
Okay.
Am I correct in saying that we have access to a spare as well?
Yeah, I had one.
But not at Gail's place, at your place, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
So that might be worth going to get at some point.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah, I think Noor's gonna try to look at the headset and see if she can recognize any of just see what she can see.
Absolutely.
No, I'm gonna push my luck. There's a 68.
68, okay.
My electronics is a 40, so I'm gonna see if I can roll lower than that.
Yeah. And how do you
I did.
push? You did? Okay, great. So how do you push your roll? How do you ensure that you can recognize?
Fully, I think Noor's glasses are just really dirty and she cleans them.
That's good.
She's like, God, we were Parg, I was like, I spilled, like, we were in a whole fight. They're dusty, and just like cleans them off, and then looks, and then I rolled a 24. So in my electronics is a 40. So that is just a normal success.
Okay. Yeah, so you are investigating this visor very carefully, mind you, because it is still connected to Ryan. So you don't want to actually lift it or move anything, but you are, let's say, you're looking at the visor, right? That kind of goes with the headset and is attached as a secondary piece, so that way when individuals have the headset on and the game isn't running, you can still see through it, right?
Okay.
And the visor is shaped differently than your glasses, of course, because it's on a bigger piece of technology, but you swear that it is similar in comparison. Like the type of glass kind of has that glasses feel and possibly has some components. You wouldn't know for sure until you take a look at a visor that isn't on someone.
Okay.
But depending on how the screen functions inside of the headset, you think that it might be a little similar.
Okay. Noor is gonna text Gibbs and ask him, hey, I really hope you're asleep right now and that you don't respond, but would you happen to have any of the prototype headsets that were made when you guys were testing this stuff out? I kind of want to compare it to like the current ones, and I know someone who has a spare. And I also know they didn't look like the way they were supposed to look. This is a voice message, by the way. She's not like typing this. It's just like she's saying this out loud.
Gotcha.
Do you have like just a one that I can compare it to? Just because I know that they look different than what they were advertised as, and I'm just, you know me, and wanting to break down tech to figure out what it does. I just want to know if I can figure anything out. Mm-hmm. Also, please make sure to check your front door at like 11. I ordered you some food, and you better eat it. Get some good rest.
And Gibbs texts much like you do.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, you do receive an immediate reply shortly after about the length of your voice message that says, "Yep, I'm totally sleeping, totally." And then another one, "I'll see what I can do though." And then another one, "Thanks for the food. You're the best." And we meander off into the room where Fable is.
Greetings, air travellers. It's me, Wingover Gimbal, famous gnome bard, and welcome back to the end of the Seven Dice. Oh, it feels like it's been so long, yet it's only been 2 weeks. What a strange thing time is. Although I don't really listen to it very often, it's not as linear as everyone says, or as everyone doesn't say. It really depends where you are. Oh, dear travellers, things have been going so wonderfully in this first day, I would say. These dear adventurers, they've really got this whole thing in the bag, I would say. Oh, there goes another one of those cats scratching things. Today is the last episode of our day 1 with the offline crew. So, a little bit of what's going to be happening within the next few weeks. We are going to be posting some recaps for people so they can go through and remember the good times of day 1, both on the online and the offline group. So this will also be a great jumping in point if you know anybody who's kind of interested in the show but like, I don't want to listen to all those episodes. They'll be able to just listen to the recaps and get started from there. And if they want to go back, cool. Also, we are starting to climb with some more reviews. I just saw that the Spotify is up at 44. Let's get that baby to 45. Hell yeah. Super rad. Thank you to those who have signed up for the newsletter already on our website. That is balladofthesevendice.com. You can check that out. There's a spot right on the front page to sign up for the newsletter. We've already had a few people jump on that, so very excited and happy to see it. Hooray! If you want to keep up on Ballad news, check out our website. We've been posting things there rather frequently, and you can see what's happening. You don't have to deal with the social medias that are currently on fire if you don't want to. So coming in swinging with another fun fact of 2050. Did you know that when they started to send people for long periods of time, not just astronauts, but they're starting to try to figure out how to have your regular citizens up in space. So they started sending people up there for long periods of time, and they noticed a rather peculiar trait. Now, this isn't necessarily everyone of this group, but they have noticed a larger amount of people who are religious by nature, who go up into space and stay there for longer periods of time, begin getting a little culty. And I mean they start worshipping the stars, creatures they perceive to be out there. They start getting real weird and sometimes dangerous and extremist. So, the groups that are working on this space travel have started keeping a bit of a closer eye on things such as faith and religion. Who'd have known that going up into space, the void where humans shouldn't be able to exist, would send them into a harsh downward spiral? Fun! Alright, travelers, as always, we have our lovely cursed radio over here. It keeps changing places in the inn, and I keep thinking, did I move it, or is it moving itself? You know how cursed things are. As long as it doesn't just appear on the pillow next to me and is whispering broadcast to me while I sleep, I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, just doop, 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 and there.
Hello and welcome to the table, everyone. I'm Jonathan, Game Master of Half-Wits and Failed Crits, an actual play podcast where the real big bad evil guys are my players' absolutely cursed dice. Join us as we build rich, living worlds to stumble through, meet weird foes and even stranger allies, and display reckless disregard for anything that gets in the way of a great story. Currently, you can catch up with our Destiny-confused space kids in our sci-fi epic Children of the Spine by searching for Half-Wits and Failed Crits on your favorite podcast app or halfwitpodcast.com.
Oh, there's nothing like a good radio ad. Oh, always feels so nice. I've started to find that I almost enter a bit of a euphoric state when listening to the radio. I'm sure there's nothing concerning about that. Also, there's another fun announcement. If you haven't already seen it yet, I'm sure by the time that this gets out to you, you will see that we have surpassed 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Oh my goodness, what an exciting moment. So head on over to our YouTubes. Be sure to follow along, subscribe. It just keeps growing, keeps getting better. Life is good over there. And remember, if you want to further support us and get some more fun one-shots and stuff, head on over to our Patreon. That's Ballad 7 Dice. Over on the Patreon, you can check that out. We have all sorts of goodies. We put up episodes early, and it's pay what you want. We're actually working on editing a brand new one-shot that's going to be going on there, where a couple of the members of the online crew play Goblin Quest and send some goblins to the doom. So look forward to that. Well, dear travelers, I don't want to keep you, so let us head back into this wondrous tale. And remember, the next few weeks, instead of a new episode, we will be getting recaps on everything that has been going on. So tell the new people to jump on in on this great story. All right, travelers, let's jump in. I bid you all adieu.
And we meander off into the room where Fable is, giving a call to their mom. The phone rings a few times. Out of character. Do you have an idea of what the mannerisms of your mom are like?
That's a good question.
Don't ya know? I don't know.
That actually was my first thought. Can you do like Minnesotan?
Can you do like just or like Southern something?
Dealer's choice.
Sweet pie.
Dealer's choice. I think Fable's mom is like real sweet, like real
sweet.
Like
Okay.
Yeah,
the nurse
yeah.
that everyone knows.
yeah, is like the nurse that calls everybody like sweetie.
What
Hey,
would,
pumpkin.
what would the word fable sound like in a Minnesotan
It's
accent?
time to
Fable?
find out, isn't it?
Time to find.
I think I'll do
only
just a
Southern.
general Southern accent because I cannot promise a
Yes,
Minnesota.
absolutely.
No, you're.
Fable.
Listen.
Fable? I don't know.
Fable.
He said it's more like an
How
E.
are you?
Lucas is like,
Yeah.
that is not what a Minnesota... Listen. I feel like Lucas is sitting there just like, what the heck?
Okay. So the line is ringing, and you get a, hello, sweetie? Wow. It's awfully late, isn't it?
Yeah, hey.
Is everything okay?
No, definitely not. Super duper not okay. I'm
Super
okay.
duper not okay. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
super duper not okay. So, I need you to fly here, like, now. Please.
Oh. So it's like super duper duper not okay.
Super duper duper duper. I don't have... there are not enough minutes in the day for the number of dupers required to convey the badness of the situation.
Okay. Is there anything I should bring? Anything I should know? You're worrying me.
Yeah, so did you see the news about Carcosa online?
Briefly, I saw like a PR stunt earlier in the day, and then a very abrupt ending to that, and a follow-up stating that the game is awfully immersive. But isn't that what y'all like in your games these days?
Not quite. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I should tell you very much over the phone. The little guy in my head is telling me not to. Can you get your nursing stuff and come over?
Oh, I see. It's that kind of not okay. All right.
Yeah.
I will book a flight tonight.
You might need to be here for a while.
I'll book a flight tonight, and I will pack several suitcases full of stuff.
Thank you. I hope at least one of those suitcases is full of nursing stuff.
You got it.
Hydration, nutrients, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll swing by work in the morning. That way I can talk to my supervisor, let her know I'll be away for a while, and I will grab some supplies while I'm there.
Thank you. Don't go to my house.
Don't go to you.
Go to my best friend's house.
Gotcha. I think I remember. I remember that fella. I will make my way there as soon as I can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I don't know what's going on, but it's gonna be okay, alright, darling?
You're the best. Get over here.
Alright. I'm booking my flight as we speak.
Thank you.
You hear clacking from a keyboard.
But it's like the one, like each hand is just using
Yeah,
one
like-
fingers.
One hit per. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Alright. Have a good evening, darling. Get some rest.
Definitely not, but that's okay. Bye.
Alright, bye now.
Then Fable goes to tell Gael that
You
her
don't
mother's
tell
gonna
your
live
mom
at
you
Gael's
love her?
house.
What
Oh,
is
sorry.
this?
I'm under a lot of stress. Fable picks up the phone
It's
and
okay.
calls back. Hi, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress.
It's alright. I love you too. I understand.
Okay, I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm under a lot of stress. I love you. Bye.
Alright, the flight's booked. Bye.
Okay, I go tell Gael that my mom's moving into his house.
Gail is like, alright, I will, your mom needs a place to sleep. It's not like you bunch who can just sleep on the floor. I wouldn't do that to your mom. She's so kind.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
I have to make a goodie basket.
Oh my God,
I need to
no.
make sure she has snacks.
Bro, you just gotta hang out. It's okay. You don't gotta make a goodie basket. You're already letting everybody sleep. Everybody and everyone and their mom literally sleep at your house. So just get some rest, and maybe we can think about a more permanent situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I also have we all live in the city, but like as far as I know, my apartment is safe. I don't have anything Carcosa online in my apartment, so like if we need another place to stay, I could offer that up. I have like I have an insane amount of blankets because my mom just assumes I'm always freezing and just keeps sending me them. So
Great.
if we need another place to stay, we can always crash at my place.
And Mauve has already lain down and started sleeping, but can hear all of this and pretends not to hear all of this and pretends to be sleeping. Like, I'm not offering up my place yet, just yet.
That's absolutely fair. All right. So you all managed to get some sort of rest. Not necessarily good rest. There's a lot going on.
I don't actually think Noor sleeps very much. I think she's just watching Smiley's stream for the majority of the night.
Okay. Yeah.
And then falls asleep with it on and doesn't know when she passed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Y'all got a lot of devices on in that place. Running.
I think Fable passes out, like, lays on, like, I picture, like, Noor, because Fable wants to watch the stream, too.
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch it with you?
Yeah, we're just like sitting next to each other on a wall. Like on a wall.
I think Fable's, like, sitting down or laying right next to the couch and has, like, her hand against Ryan's hand.
Well, Mauve, by pretending to sleep, does fall asleep. The only thing is,
That's the best way to do it.
Make it till you make it.
yes, and the only thing is Mauve has a very strange way of sleeping. Almost like they're sleeping in a coffin. So they have their hands crossed across their chest. And it's not something, this is something you guys don't know, obviously, but it's not something that happens naturally. It's something that Mauve practiced throughout their lives to get it right. And now they're able to sleep like that.
I was going to say, at some point, Fable definitely taps Noor and points at Mauve and goes, oh my god, why are they sleeping like a vampire? I don't
Definitely went through a Twilight phase as a kid. Like, had to have.
Polly didn't leave it, and I know that that's, like, now considered classic literature, but I still think it's bad. Anyway.
No, I agree.
It doesn't age well. It just doesn't age well.
No.
It doesn't age well at all.
At some point during the very, very early morning, maybe like 4 or 5 a.m., Guy will wake up, like, abruptly. He always wakes up very abruptly. Like his eyes just, like, burst open. He sits up in the bath. It gets some Saw vibes. The opening to Saw, the main character wakes up in a full bath.
We did pat it with blankets, though.
Yeah, he feels, more comfortable than usual. He's usually on the floor of his storage unit when he wakes up, and he sort of clambers out of the bath. And all of this is probably like loud enough for everyone to hear and observe, but he is still a little bit drunk, and assuming everyone's fast asleep. And he'll go out to the main room wherever Ryan is in the chair, or on the couch, or whatever Ryan's situation is, and he'll sort of like crouch next to Ryan, so that he can sort of speak into the visor, because he's used to old systems. He doesn't know whether this will get heard or not, but he's hoping that there is an internal microphone in the thing that, like, broadcasts into the game. He sort of, like, crouches next to it and just says, Derek, you can hear me. This is your detective you hired to investigate your mum, Victoria Highland. I just want to say that we're going to get you out, and then we'll meet up like we said. Yeah. Okay. And then he stands back up and picks up his jacket and walks out of the apartment, unless he's stopped.
What time is it?
About 4 or 5 a.m. you said?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go get him, go for it. Otherwise, I'll go get him.
I think Noor would still be, having the stream up, but just as, like, you wouldn't know if she was awake or asleep because she has her eyes closed and is still listening. When she hears Guy go towards the door, she just, like, says, so you're just gonna go somewhere again without telling anyone?
I was just gonna smoke.
We'll be waiting here when you are done, and I'm expecting you to come back.
I will.
Okay.
I promise. And then, he goes out. He smokes probably 4 or 5 full cigarettes, and then comes back in.
Just chain.
Just chain.
Smoking.
It's actually just one really long one. Just one long.
He tapes them together. He tapes them together until he just has a long...
Yeah. There's like a thing that just lets you glue them together, and it works as one. Yeah.
It's a loop. It's a loop of
True.
cigarettes.
It's a circle.
It's a cigarette frisbee.
Ouroboros, right? Isn't that
Yeah, Ouroboros.
Yeah.
I will say, by the time you get back in, Guy Noor's definitely fallen asleep.
And Gael will just find a kitchen chair and just sit and look out of a window as the sun comes up, hopefully. If it does.
And
he's always not sure.
Don't say hopefully, that's so scary. Don't give Michaela ideas.
for Guy, it sounds like it is always hopefully.
See that face? That's the face.
What face? What face are you talking about?
They can't see your face.
It's the one where we can see all your teeth and you look happy. That's
And
the
you
one.
do your little head
That's
tilt.
the uh-oh face.
Your little
yeah,
eye.
don't,
That
not that.
one. Don't do that one.
Every GM has a face that their players are like, don't.
Or like when they pause, or they're like, "Well," and you're like, "Oh God."
It's very fun because I don't have a good poker face, ever.
It's okay. That means we're constantly terrified.
Yeah, and I think between all the clamoring and the fact that it's getting close to about the time that Gael would be waking up anyways, there's some shuffling coming from Gael's room, and he walks out. It's like, oh, someone who's up before me. That's new. I was gonna make some breakfast for everyone. Do you want some coffee, some tea, or?
Yeah, whatever you've got. Good to meet you. I'm Guy Jury.
Yeah.
He holds out a hand. There's probably a slug crawling up his arm.
Gael shakes it anyways, and I think there's the slightest pause, but not enough that you would notice because Gael's too polite to say anything, and just is like, okay, there's a snail there. That's cool. That's great. Yeah, you were the one who passed out pretty quickly, so I didn't really get to chat with you, but I hear there is a lot going on.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a thing, I think. It might be a long thing. It might be a dangerous thing. Really appreciate you being involved.
I mean, it's Fable, so I had to get involved. And Gael turns on the stove, brews some tea, I think, and some coffee. Probably both, really. Because Gael wants to accommodate for everyone and really isn't sure what everyone likes.
I'm gonna cry over Gael, I swear to God.
Gael will double cup it for sure. He'll have a cup of each.
A cup of each. Oh.
Can't keep getting me attached to people. I'm scared.
I'm sorry. And I think there's a little bit of everything for breakfast, right? Like some omelets type of dealio, like eggs, just some lighter stuff like grits and oatmeal, some cubed fruit that's available for everyone, and just kind of spreads it out on the bar in the apartment as the sun does start shining through the windows at this point. And Gael goes, I'm gonna put on the news if that's okay. It's been kind of weird lately, but I think it might be helpful.
Yeah.
And he walks out into the living room and quietly picks up the remote because I think most of you are still sleeping. And
if it's 5, then Noor just passed out. So yeah.
And turns on the television while finishing making some breakfast for everyone.
You look too prepared right now. Michaela looks really prepared right now.
Just a little, you know. And it probably takes about 40 minutes for breakfast to finish up. So I think by the time Guy and Gael continue chatting over this breakfast being prepared, it probably hits about 6 a.m. And he kind of walks over to the living room. He's like, hey, psst. You all have a full day, right?
What?
I don't know what time you usually get up.
Not this time.
Yo, Gael. Was it a dream?
Nope. You're all still here at my house.
Fuck. And Fable gets up.
I need another hour.
Okay. Feel free to go back to sleep, but I'm making some breakfast.
Oh, I'm up. What kind did you make?
I've got grits and some oatmeal, some fruit, some omelets, eggs.
Gael, you didn't have
turkey bacon.
You literally.
There's no more eggs.
More eggs. You gotta eat all the eggs.
Oh my God.
Gael, you literally let us crash at your house. You didn't have to also feed us, babe.
You can't just go doing whatever dangerous things you're doing, according to Guy, without a belly full of food to keep you nourished.
How many eggs did Guy eat?
Gael looks at the carton.
Probably a half dozen, probably.
Bro.
I was gonna say at least maybe 5 or 6 are gone.
Oh. Yeah.
This one, he knows what's up. You can't go doing dangerous things on a full belly. It's like when we have our pen testing situations and you're like, no, I'm gonna jump from roof to roof with nothing in my stomach so I don't feel nauseous. And I'm like, but you're exerting energy. You need to eat. At least take like a Cliff Bar or something. And you're like, no,
Yeah, and you make me eat power bars and you have him in
Yes.
the car. Hey, Guy,
Yeah.
you're still on my shit list. But you slept here, you ate 6 of his eggs, you passed out drunk, you have to do me a favor. One favor. It will take you 20 minutes. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Look into my eyes. Are you looking? Eye contact. Maintain it.
He tries very hard, but it's finding it difficult.
No. Into the eyes. Are you looking?
Yes.
Take a fucking shower right now. I have never seen you clean. Go.
Are you sure I should do that here?
What's gonna happen?
I think he's worried about his slug friends.
I would like to know.
I'm so nosy. This is Fatuma saying this, not Noor's passed out with Smiley's stream still on.
Seriously, what's gonna happen?
Well, everything will be in the sink or the shower.
No, yeah, the shower. When was the last time you took a shower? Do you think you shower in the sink? Go get in the shower.
It must have been those sink showers.
Wash your hair. Gail, I'm sorry, I'll clean your bathroom later. No, actually, Guy will clean your bathroom later.
Perfect.
Fine. Whatever you say. And he will go and he will take a shower and he will block the drain with slugs and snails
Oh, I see.
and probably a lot of hair and grime.
You make it sound like the slugs and snails like come from you and not from around you. Like
He's fully unsure.
Ugh, I hate it.
Cannot confirm.
enough.
Ugh.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
But when you emerge and we're all together again, the smellscape is 50% better than it was yesterday.
And I think while Guy's in the shower, Noor is still sleeping. The screen on the TV flickers to a headline, and you see some individuals talking, and it gets kind of interrupted by a high-end story.
Breaking news, just 5 minutes from now we will be talking to you about the unfortunate circumstances of Nostradamus' new game, Carcosa Online. Players are reportedly trapped in the game using a new VR technology. While many are worried what this means for the individuals stuck inside, Director of PR Victoria Highland ensures everyone that steps are being taken to ensure that individuals are hydrated and nourished. I'm Ryan Newsworthy, bringing you the news that is worthy of you. More to come.
When the TV says Victoria Highland, Fable picks up a shoe and chucks it at the bathroom door. And Guy hears the bathroom door make like a loud slamming sound.
that wakes Noor up.
Oh, is that?
I was like, what?
Is that Nostradamus? Are they here? This guy rushes out wearing nothing but a towel, holding the shower pole from the curtain.
Yeah, they're here. We're all dead.
The shower pole.
And nobody knows, but Guy is like shredded. No, I'm just kidding.
Surprise.
I think he's just emaciated, if anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Noor wakes up and is like, what time is it?
Gail chirps in and is like, like 6:30, 7 almost.
Noor hears Gail and immediately wakes up, realizing she slept over at someone's house that she didn't know, with people that she didn't know, and is like, oh, I can like just hear her mom in her head being like, don't, when strangers give you candy, you're not supposed to. She's like, I've failed everything my mother has taught me, but immediately feels bad that she crashed at Gail's place, and is like, wakes up begrudgingly, and is like, I haven't been up this early since high school. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yo.
Just walks up to Gail and is like, you are such a peach for being so energetic at such an early time.
There's food.
Is there coffee?
And tea.
Just like walks to the she's not gonna wake up till she gets coffee, so she like walks and just pours herself like black coffee. Just like straight coffee, and like starts drinking it.
Is Guy standing in the kitchen with a shower
Yeah,
bowl?
I think Guy's still standing there.
You're in the kitchen with the shower pole, or the bathroom hallway with the shower pole?
Really?
I don't know the orientation of this place.
Came like out to the hallway.
Wait, what? So it's Guy's in the kitchen or in the hallway?
It depends where things are, I guess.
Yeah, still in the hallway. So
if Mauve's in the kitchen eating, stuffing their face right now, could they see Guy still?
If you're at the right angle. So if you're sitting at the bar that's adjacent to the kitchen, you would be able to see into the hallway, which I imagine is where Guy is at, like standing outside of the door, like came out hearing the shoe being thrown with the towel and the shower pole, kind of waiting. But if you're on the if you're the inside of the kitchen, like the alcove of the kitchen where the cooking appliances are, you wouldn't be able to see Guy.
Oh, no. Definitely already sitting and eating, stuffing their face. And then sees Guy come out like that and says, "Really, Guy? In front of my bagel." Like, because their mouth is full.
Oh my god.
And just, like, turns around and just continues stuffing their face.
And the guy will, realizing that it was, just a noise or just something happened, probably looking to see Fable still. What's Fable's expression right now?
I think when you rush out holding the pole of the shower and wearing a towel and screaming about "Is Nostradamus here?" Fable just raises an eyebrow and says, "Yeah, it's your girlfriend."
That brings Noor back out of the kitchen.
And Guy will come in and sit down and watch the news.
Just like that?
In a towel? Amazing.
He's only got 5 minutes,
Oh boy.
I think Noor brings Guy a cup of coffee.
Thanks, Noor. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe how physically Guy looks in this towel? I'm just curious now. Is there like silver chest hair?
Is he like secretly ripped and we don't know?
Yeah, like are you secretly ripped?
Tattoos?
He's very, very slim, very wiry. He's definitely got a lot of tattoos and scars.
Ooh.
Like probably on his right hand. He's probably not wearing his prosthetic thumb right now. So he's only got the one thumb, and the other hand is there's probably like scars going right the way up to his forearm on that side there, and just lots of signs. It looks as if there was an explosion right next to him at some point. Like the scars all on one side, and just also all sorts of tattoos that Mauve might recognize as like various occult and religious symbols, and mostly protective ones.
Yeah, I mean, that's all great, but I'm asking about chest hair here, okay?
Grey and wiry.
Gray and wiry, yeah.
Nice.
Green for a second. I was like, what?
Hopefully not green.
Is there like a slug
No.
trapped in the hair?
Stop! Don't.
No,
why
I think they're all
stop
safely
it.
in the drain at this point.
They all go.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think they all go washed off. For now, at least, right? Oh my goodness.
Cut that visual. Cut it. Get rid of that visual.
So, Guy has taken a seat in front of the television.
Very random question. Would Gael have like this is the dumbest thing. It's gonna sound so sketchy. Would Gael have like mail or something in their? Essentially, I want to learn Gael's last name. Would there be like mail or something that would have Gael's last name on it in the kitchen or something? For very wholesome reason,
I will have to.
I know what it is.
Okay, you do. All right.
Or like I don't need to actually know it, but just like could Noor figure out what it was?
Yeah, so I think that Gael is the type of person who has very busy days and checks the mail as to not inconvenience the mail person needing to shove a bunch of mail into their like slot.
They're so nice.
And it gets stuck. They kind of grab it, and then just there's like a table, like a side table near the entrance to his apartment where he just kind of piles it up. There's a lot of mail sitting there.
Okay. So Noor's gonna essentially very randomly go over there, literally just find Gael's last name and then figure out a way to send him some money for the fact that she let him crash and is paying for food for people. So like she's gonna essentially try to find him and send him some money.
Like his Venmo. You're gonna look up his Venmo real quick.
Do I have to roll for that? Yeah, like let me look up his Venmo that we're also going to rename.
Yeah, just goggle it.
You try to find his freaking Cash App real quick.
Like legitimately. Would it be computer use?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, because you would have to be doing some digging to try to find, like,
yeah, exactly.
the Venmo username.
I want to send Gael money. You lost half a dozen eggs to a singular person. Not that Noor knows that, but
Gael does not mind.
And also, probably functionality of a shower.
True. Okay. I'm gonna roll computer use then.
Yeah, let's roll for that. And the
Wreak havoc on the plumbing.
My rolled 28, which succeeds.
okay, nice. Yeah, you end up finding Gail's like Venmo or something along those lines.
We'll rename it later.
Right.
It's Venmo.
Oh my
Venmo.
When you need to send money, use
Oh
Venmo.
god.
Wenmo! When you need to send money.
Oh gosh.
Wenmo.
And I think just for funsies, Gail has recently changed his profile picture, and it's a picture of him and Alistair, like right in front of his face.
Yes.
Like super fluffy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can confirm that is him for sure.
Okay, yeah. So Noor sees that, and then is like, okay, there's food. They're cleaning sends them like $50-something, like $50 or something. It's like, here's just
Remember inflation.
to make up for stuff.
Inflation.
Yeah.
So,
I think Gail has it so that he has to approve transactions, and he denies it.
ooh.
And he goes, no, you're my guest. Stop that. Go. Stop.
Okay, but we were guests that you didn't. Please just let me do it. My mother will kill me if I do not. This is more for my own safety than yours.
Gail's like, fine.
Thank you. And then sends more money than she expected and just expects him to accept it.
Gael sort of leans into Fables. Does no one don't know that Mauve usually pays for stuff?
Oh, how fucking dare you?
If I were you, I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't tell her. But I think Fable is in the middle of like conspiratorially whispering with Guy, like they often do, and then remembers and looks at Guy and scoots their chair away.
I think while you all are having these conversations, the news pops back up with the story that they had mentioned before. And this time it's two reporters sitting at a table, kind of going over everything that happened the night of the PR event and the follow-up interview following that, mentioning, the immersiveness of Carcosa Online, and kind of talking about how Victoria Highland tends to do a good job of making light of situations, but also that this seems like one of those instances where the situation is a little bit more dire. And the other news reporter on the right side, who didn't give the initial announcement about the report, goes, well, if you ask me, no one should have gotten stuck inside of the game to begin with. Sure, they can help folks outside of the game, but what are they doing about the threats inside of the game? And she looks kind of off screen for a moment, as if to get confirmation that she's allowed to talk about what she's about to say. We have confirmation from outside sources that people have indeed died, found lifeless, with this VR headset atop their head. It seems to me that malnutrition and dehydration are not the only threats to be faced. So, what is Nostradamus and Victoria Highland doing about that? We asked Nostradamus for further comment, but they have declined at this time. However, another company, Nanolutions, says that they are doing everything in their power to aid Nostradamus in keeping the players stuck inside of the game safe. The news reporter on the other side goes,
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have for you. Stay tuned in. We are doing our best to get information to you concerned citizens. This is definitely a tricky situation to navigate, and we are all in the dark, more than we'd like to be. I'm Ryan Newsworthy, bringing you the news that is worthy of you. More at 12.
and it wraps up and goes to commercial.
How much would Noor know about Nanolution? That's definitely she definitely knows the name.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what is her intelligence on the company? I guess.
Yeah, if you want to give me I'm gonna say natural world for this situation, because you have lived in Seattle for a while. Really?
She's so bad at that.
It's different natural world typically, but I think it would be fun for this.
Okay, I assume natural world was like nature world.
It is, yeah.
No, it was a 5 and she rolled a 95. She's like, oh my god, Yeah, that's a name that I've obviously heard of only like once in my life. Yeah, so she doesn't know anything.
No way, that's a different
No
company.
worries.
Doesn't know anything other than, oh, this is a tech company that I've, maybe heard about, but not anything. She doesn't like know specifics, probably.
I would say that you all know of Nanolutions, at least in passing, maybe. Like, you know the name. You've heard it before.
Yeah.
I mean, a 95 over a 5, I feel like you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a catering company.
I was just gonna say, Nora's like, oh, that's where I got my shoes. No big deal.
That's where I got my shoes. So I got these, actually, Nanolutions, where my merch was made. So it's like, they do custom designs for things. So yeah, that's where I got some stuff made. Maybe they have a custom, maybe that's a department of theirs that I know, but I don't know they actually do tech. Like, oh, I got my, hoodies made there.
Corporations are like a fungus. My bet, it's all the same company, really.
You're like a frickin' fungus.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You would take that as a compliment, huh?
Now, okay, let's stop this petty squabbling and focus on what matters. I need to go to my job soon, and but don't worry, I won't be gone long. I just need to let them know I'll be away for an indeterminate amount. Indeterminate, is that the word? Indeterminate amount of time.
Or undetermined amount of time.
Undetermined. What?
I think it's
Undetermined amount of time.
It's
An
correct.
unknown amount of time.
Unknown? Yeah.
An obscene amount of time.
The most time.
The most
most
of the
time.
time. Yes.
The most time.
Oh,
Most
it's
of the
most
time.
time.
Stop it.
Okay.
Not you too.
Fade to black. The mauve time.
Right.
So I'll be back shortly to help as much as I can.
Before you go, for safety reasons, we should all probably... Are we in agreement that we're going to figure this out together? I know we been known each other for less than less than 24 hours, but seeing is something could happen to any of us since we all broke into a museum together. Should we share our locations with each other so we know where we all are? So that in case one of y'all goes missing, we can keep in contact?
Well, we know how hard it is to get a hold of Guy. Maybe, Guy, you can accompany me on my walk, is it a walk? I don't know. Maybe you can accompany me to my workplace, and we'll come back together.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd go with Mauve today.
I'll share my location through my phone. At least you'll have me.
Thank you.
Maybe later, Fable, we can talk.
I think Fable completely ignores that and says, yeah, I think when my mom gets here, I'm throwing my phone in the garbage and buying a payphone. And maybe also my computer in the garbage. Can you think of some way that we can keep tabs on each other that isn't also some way that Nostradamus can keep tabs on us? Because a big face did come out of my computer, so I don't really trust technology super good right now. But I'm all ears because you seem very tech savvy.
I have a couple ideas I could work on. Might need a little bit of time though, but I will think of ways to do that. And Noor starts maybe thinking about different devices or things that she can make that are little tracking devices.
Very cool.
Okay, so Mauve's going to work. Noor, do you know how to fight?
We were at the museum together, right?
Yeah.
You know the answer to that.
Me neither. What do you say we go take in like a frickin' Krav Maga class or something? Because I have a feeling that's not the last time we're gonna have to punch somebody.
Can we stop by my place so I'm not doing this in my platform Converse first, or would you rather just go straight there?
We can go by your place. If faces come out of your computer, though, we're definitely leaving.
Don't worry, we don't even have to go into the room with the computers to get my stuff. Separate room for all of that.
Sold.
Can we just say, Converse is called Proverse here?
Proverse? Yes. They are called Proverse.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I think as you all delegate what you're going to do for the day and agree to, meet back up at some point and go from there, Gael bids you all adieu and tries to send you all off with snacks. It has little snacks that he has pulled out to give to you all.
Noor folded up all the blankets we used at some point also, put them in a pile.
Aww. He appreciates that.
Aww.
Gail will remember that. As you all head your separate ways for the day.
Escaping Carcosa is brought to you by the Ballad of the Seven Dice Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching Ballad of the Seven Dice. Supporting our Patreon helps us pay for the show, such as hosting, equipment, and additional content for you to enjoy. Our Patreon is pay what you want and contains behind-the-scenes footage, audio dramas, one-shots, and more. You can also head over to iTunes and Spotify and leave us a 5-star review. Every review helps us fight against the horrors of the algorithm. Until next time, dear travelers,
Keep an eye out for that yellow side.